Imagine if leadership and development was a uniting factor for people towards a certain achievement. When people set aside their political differences and affront a cause that will benefit everyone.
What does Omuntu Wawansi see as development in it?
We have the only international airport in this area.
There is no way we can underlook issues of health.
Who is the problem now?
That is politics.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this beautiful morning, the 20th of April 2024. That means that we're moving at a faster rate, of course, when we're getting close to half a year. And we hope that everybody is okay. We are going to discuss a number of issues that have been raging in the course of the week. But among them is, first of all, the deadly accident that claimed a lawyer, Occurrences Raphael, at Nkumba traffic lights. That's along Entebbe Highway. It was really a fatal accident. But also the other things. We have also the flooding of the Kitubulu section along still the Entebbe Highway, among others. But also the most interesting the discussion we'll hold is also around the renting out of the mayor's garden in Katavi to a proprietor, that is Jack's Secret Company Uganda Limited, for rent of 10 years, and that was 324 million shillings that were paid to Entebbe municipality or municipal council for that regard. But of course, we know many other things have been happening throughout the week. But to put this into context, I am seated with a number of people, and most of them my fellow colleagues who are journalists. And on my immediate left is Lawrence Mushabe, who is a photographer, a writer with Nile Post or Next Media. Mushabe, good to have you on the show, and say hi to our audience.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you for hosting us yet again. I am Lawrence Mushabe, like you've said it. To all the viewers who are watching, I want to welcome you, and most especially the people of Bukanga.
Well, I was going to say welcome back from Bukanga, but you said it yourself. Okay, next to Mushabe is a renowned, I don't know why I always want to use the word veteran, but one of the senior reporters, I can say, but also the CEO for Entebbe Post, Lawrence Lubula. Henry Lubula, sorry for that, but welcome to the show.
I'm grateful to be hosted here today again. It's been a while since I was last hosted here. And good morning, viewers, and I bring you regards and greetings from
you sound very humble today.
The very...
What is that? Okay, on my immediate right is also Gracious Mugabe, who is a social activist. Gracious, who has you have been seen in a number of issues around Entebbe, but really thank you so much for also joining us on the panel. Gracious.
Thank you. It's actually my first time to be hosted here, so thanks for that.
We must pour water on you. we must splash fire on your water, because if you say this is your first time, but we really
it's my first time, and I hope my being here will be of great value to my community and my country.
Okay, we are going to be discussing a number of issues, and first I want to welcome you, the two of you, from the fatal accident that you people covered at the Nkumba traffic lights. It is something that caused national, alarm. And actually, I don't know which best words I can use to characterize what happened, but it was really alarming. It caused a lot of mayhem, especially for Entebbe. But from your coverage, Lawrence, what can you put into context for the accident that happened around the Nkumba traffic lights just 2 days ago?
Thank you so much, Ivan. I'm so glad to be here again, to be hosted. But of course, we start with sending in condolence messages to the family of the deceased who lost his life, a young lawyer But of course, it was bad to the family, to the community, and to the entire country. According to how because I think we were the first,
People who were to
to
the
go on
scene.
ground to cover up the story. I will have to speak about two aspects. One, on the side of the driver who was driving the truck. We don't know. I remember some way back, including even there is a time we were hosted here, Ivan, speaking about the same issue. Nkumba traffic lights have been a death trap for a while, including some time back. I remember there is a time when the lights went off for almost over 3 months, and it was, the people were dying from that. It was too much.
And it was no one's concerned.
But of this kind, we have to think about the state of the driver and how maybe he started his move coming to Entebbe. First of all, we do not want to blame the side of the company or
I think Lawrence and if you can agree with me, Henry, as well. This is just an example of the many deaths that have happened around that place, but they have not been accounted for. I one time did a story from that place when Nkumba University students protested before the traffickers, I think, were put.
At that time, there
But you
was
see,
a very
me,
big
I am
switch.
not an expert in motor vehicle and the rest, but I want to talk about the scope of the road, or the geographical positioning of the scene that this accident happened. If you can notice or listen from what people are submitting, is that when you're driving from Kampala, people rarely see the first traffic lights. You'll see the ones at the other side of S&S.
yeah, sure.
But also sometimes when you are turning, the arrow will show that you can turn and go back to Entebbe, when this other side of Kampala is still red. So you just from nowhere bump into the red lights. So you have to make an instant braking. However, my area of concern is how this road was made. At first, that road had humps around there. Who saw them?
Yeah,
And they were removed. But if someone is driving from Kampala, I want to put this to the motorists. Henry, you drive on that road, but you'll notice that if someone comes out of the express, they will think they're still on the expressway. So the speed regulation is also there. I am not attributing it to the recent accident, but for the many that have happened there. Not only that, we have errant drivers as well.
Yeah,
There are those who call themselves the Gambanogu, like how they put it into context. But let me listen, or let's get your view in relation to what really happened.
You said I'm so humble today, but I want to be a little bit stubborn. I want to start with it is actually the general erosion of the ways we learn how to drive, the ways we sensitize people who use the roads and all sorts. Evan, let us first of all look at how the accident happened. The driver lost control of the vehicle and could not brake.
Yes.
Yeah. After losing control, did the driver do the requisite requirements for someone to alert other people on the road that I'm in danger? The driver did not do the needful, first and foremost. He did not alert anyone that is in danger, and that justifies the reason as to why even people remained and did not give him away so as to go and find a secure place to go to find solace. Now, in such instances, who do we blame?
Okay. To me, I think an accident is an accident.
So, of course, an accident can
This accident, according to me, I am not an expert in motor vehicle and traffic rules. But to my understanding, like how you drive in a car and loses brake, you get. But me, I'm looking at a general picture of how that place. Actually, I'm switching away from cars that were involved in the accident, but to the stretch of the road, because many accidents have happened there. I remember a time when Nkumba University students striked. That same place had humps and they were removed.
Evan, I want to refer you to a road called the Kampala Masaka Highway. There is a sharp corner at Nabingo. They used to tell us that there is a Musambwa there. And very many vehicles were falling in that area only because they used to come at a terrible speed in a sharp corner.
Yes.
And whether or not we agree on this, the first point of interaction we should be having now is, are we well behaved enough to engage in driving onto the road? Because in any way, we cannot have accidents for as long as we are responsible and have good behavior.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Mugabe, you were closely following up on the accident. I want to just give you a very short time, but also note your observation. And what's your take on the accident that happened in that place?
Yeah, thank you. It's very unfortunate that a life was lost. But personally, there are things that I may not answer right now. For example, there are questions that we can raise. One, was this truck a DMC? Was it in a good mechanical condition? That is a question we can't answer right now. Two, the process of getting driving permits in Uganda. You can sit home. You have your money.
I think Mugabe, we may not go into those. Those are not, I think, our area of interest. The traffic is able to now maybe give a report on that or whatever. But you may have all those things, and an accident will still happen. You get? My area of interest is the stretch in Nkumba and generally the Entebbe Express. As of the recent report, I have not read it, the one traffic gave. Do you know how many people die on the Entebbe Express? Not only even in Nkumba, but we as the people that drive on the same road, people that stay in Entebbe, are now cracking our minds. What do we need to do?
Ivan, what I think we need to do is the public awareness of how to use these.
But the traffic has tried to do that. I don't know if you've seen. How many times have you been stopped when you're driving at a terrible speed?
I've never been stopped.
Actually, I've also never been stopped.
Just
never because of.
I have been stopped, I think, about 3 times. Yes, I don't know whether it's speed or what, but I have at least been stopped. And we have seen these men of uniform on the roads. I normally see them as soon as you exit the express. There is traffic. As soon as you finish the Nkumba traffic lights coming to Entebbe, you'll see police officers around there. But the errors that is exhibited on Entebbe Road sometimes is manifested from the Gambanogus. People who don't want to respect the road. Actually, people don't know that it is us to respect the road. You get?
But
and
actually,
we think it can respect us.
Ivan, it should not be on the motorists alone, even the pedestrians themselves. Because why is it that there are also traffic lights in Katabi, but you rarely find an accident in Katabi, and yet that stretch is also longer than the one in
we conducted interviews with you. I don't know if we can we can play the clips or for maybe a second, and we see what people are saying about this. But the general comment people are saying is that these traffic lights are in a slope. And when you're coming from the other side, because I told you, people think that so long as you get on the express, it is express up to the airport. So the speed, rarely people reduce the speed. So when you are sloping from Pala Police, you will first see the other traffic lights which are S and S. And those ones, normally when these ones are red, the other one is green, because people who turn are free to go back to Entebbe, as you who comes from Kampala can still wait until you go. That was their concern, and they said, if UNRA can raise the traffic lights from the first side of Mpala, maybe raise them up so that when you are coming from Mpala, as soon as you leave the express and maybe come ahead, you are able to see that they are red. Let me slow down the speed.
But Ivan, it is a very sensitive issue. But allow me, I first highlight on the solution-based approach, according to the way we observed the incident. One, I remember even some time back there is when the government had hired, I think, a certain company to start inspecting most of these vehicles before they get onto the road.
SGS.
I think by then. But we want to ask ourselves, if really this truck belongs to a very high profile company, I don't recall very well.
Sian Brothers.
I hope they should have a very professional driver who drives.
No, that is an accident. Unexpected.
It is very okay.
I have personally knocked someone's car around in the same traffic lights.
Same
My
way
car
I've
was
knocked-
not braking very well.
Very true.
Yes.
But for us, we think maybe could there have been, some if the truck wasn't in a very good condition mechanically, I think the good driver would have noticed that. And then also we come to the point of these traffic lights. In fact, unfortunately, or for your case, for those who didn't know, yesterday at around lunchtime, there is
Another accident.
another
Someone
accident on
was
the same
telling me
spot.
there is a ghost now. They need a cow.
The same spot. It is
I don't know if you also had those comments. Actually, even on social media.
It is
That
the
there is a ghost which is hiding there, and they need a cow to slaughter. Then before, otherwise there are going to be many more other. So,
the same spot.
you understand the traditionalism better. Is it true there is a ghost?
Of course, there is no ghost there. But let me tell you something. I want to tell you something very small.
I was completing my
Okay, you complete.
statement in just
Okay.
1 minute. When it comes to that, the same spot where another accident has happened in just 2 days, I think the issue you said is very much crucial. Most of people who are actually new in Entebbe, or those who drive in, some of us who reside in Entebbe already know. But when you're sloping as you head to Nkumba traffic lights, it is possible that the first poles of the lights of the
Are
traffic
not
lights
seen, is
are
they
not
noticed?
seen. You first see the last poles actually as you approach the supermarket S&S. So there should be means to ensure that these traffic lights there should be ways to ensure that people are now aware and they create a
Rubula,
lot
you're
of
making a
awareness.
case.
You see, I want to disagree on something very small. You see, before the traffic lights, there is a zebra crossing. And at that zebra crossing, there are no traffic lights. But I've never heard of a person being knocked at that zebra crossing. I did people cross, and
The ones going to police and to
Yes.
Starbucks around there.
you see, at that very instance, vehicles should have reduced the speed because they will not change the junction.
Are you
from
trying
that
to
place
make us
another.
believe what people are saying, that there is just a ghost around
There
there?
is no ghost. It's just the behavior of the people who use them, of the motorists and the pedestrians, who do not even. I've seen motorcycles when even the lights are not yet green. They are crossing from one side to another.
But I'm told
You
there is no line for motorcycles. So motorcycle. I was talking to one
But
of
you
the
see,
guys riding me.
motorcycles are motorists.
But yes, but they are saying in the line they are not catered for.
They are supposed to use the main road.
Yes, where you see where the lines that are supposed to bring cars, they only put 4 cars. At least 2 cars can stay in a line. Even when you count the space in between the cars, there is no provision for a motorcycle. One of them was trying to reason to me. He was carrying me and was because I told him, Chief, why don't you wait until the lights are green? He said, we are not having provision for borders to wait for.
But you see, borders are motorists. They are supposed to wait same way vehicles wait.
Okay.
Ivan, to differ, just
We wind up because we have about
to
2
differ
minutes.
from from my colleague what he's saying. I want to pose one question. Apart from saying the passengers and the behaviors and whatever, we have our traffic guys who are stationed around as you cross Chituburu going to Katabi, who have the speeding speed guns and whatever. We know the death trap is around Nkumba traffic lights. We also have around 3 traffic officers always stand around the roundabout of Express.
Yes, I know. As you exit.
Why don't we have these people cross from Jituburu, the place which is okay, and they go around Nkumba, at least around
And by the way, Mugabe, I have not, maybe just to add on what you're saying, there is when power went off for about 2 months or something like that. And still the motorists you'd find them visiting to, find ways, navigate. These ones want to traffic officers at the what is it called? the stations you've been talking about. Yes, you want to differ?
I want to tell you something very small. You people, we have been here argumentatively saying even the traffic officers should reduce on the road. And
actually, yes, actually, that is my point.
My point is, and actually, I want to continue saying this over and over again. You see, we have bad behavior on the road. All of us have bad behavior on the road.
What do you mean bad behavior?
People don't respect traffic lights. People don't respect the signs, because I can tell you there are even signs there around Nkumba. People don't know about these signs. You know, it's a junction, and people have to cross from one place to another.
Henry, you guys agree with me or disagree? The reason why I said that we reduce on we remove the traffic officers on the road, and we install cameras. Now, when we install cameras, these officers can monitor them from their control rooms. We know a car which has right of way. We know a car which is supposed to speed. Let's say you're driving at 40 because you're approaching the traffic lights. These ones who think they are the Gambano goose, who cannot even be patient at the traffic lights, let them pay tax to government, because their cars are not in the system. You remember the Entebbe Express thing? Still the same Gambano goose were coming up and say, even as some security officers, we want to be exempted from paying the toll fees and the rest of other things. But when the system was harmonized that there are these specific cars only that don't pay, because some of them, even a person who is just related to a security person, will behave in a very errant way. Why?
Ivan, I can tell you, after that accident, a camera clip from the installed cameras was brought out, and they showed us how the accident happened.
Yes.
That camera has been there for a long period of time, and the errant drivers have also been there. But those cameras have never, none of them has been arrested. You know why? Only because the people who engage in such disrespect of the law are the very people who are very close to the people who manage the cameras. So in any way, it will not work. We need to first of all understand as a country that even when you are related, even when you are a friend of a police officer, even when you are in power, there are laws. And respect that you behave very well on the road.
There is a certain group of also supporters for a certain political party.
Yes.
I am not going to mention it. Who also think that for them, traffic lights are made for the other political party. They are made. Yes, I've seen
the number plates.
Yes. Some drive without number plates. You've seen. Some even go and put a name of a certain figure. I also know, and I'm told that's protection.
Which figure?
Have you seen? Have you seen?
Which figure is that?
I please, for purposes of this.
We don't know that figure. Let me tell you something. We need to learn from the very senior leaders in this country. Actually, we had this discussion with your colleagues yesterday.
Yes.
We've seen Ivan Corrector standing, waiting at the traffic lights. We've seen Jeno Katumba waiting at the traffic lights. Who are you? How special are you as a person to think or believe that you are better than the generals we have in this country?
Should they know that you want to know, you are in trouble. Well, we will have to now switch gears to another conversation. Recently, I think the same week around Monday, there was flooding on the same road. Water is threatening still the Entebbe in Kitubu section. I don't know if you guys have witnessed this severally. Last time you saw the rising water levels also getting to, a higher level and threatening. Still the same thing. But all of this goes back to, the environmental protection cause. Who is digging or who is getting sand in the lake around Kitubu?
Ivan,
the one that is blocking drainage.
Ivan, we shall also ask for who is draining sand from the Entebbe airport and who is draining sand from Nachuo.
At least for Entebbe airport, we got an explanation for the flooding that was there. Yes, Vian Loja, the public affairs manager for civil aviation, came out and said they are still constructing. There is a building that is just adjacent to the newly opened passenger terminal. So some of the pipes have not been connected. And being a site, there is a sand, there is what. So some of them, given the rains we had as well, also UNIMA came out and clarified that there was much rain that day. So I want us to really give them a benefit of doubt that at least that, because he said not until we are done, June or July, he said, before they connect all the pipes to have a big volume of water being taken. That one we want to give them a benefit of doubt because he came out to clarify. But the one who's digging sand in the lake, I'm told they are doing it at night. Mugabe, you have always done your your follow-ups on such kind of so please, tell who is
One, I don't know who is digging sand at night,
you know,
but I know it is being done.
because nothing happens in Entebbe without your knowledge, unless
No.
you have this time being compromised.
He's the
I'm not
Gamba
omnipresent. I don't know who is digging sand in Entebbe, but at least I know someone is digging sand, because without such activities degrading the environment, we wouldn't be having and seeing water levels rise up to an extent of sometimes covering part of the road. This is not the first time that the Chitubulu Road, the stretch, is being depleted. The first time was, I think, during around 2019, when that road...
The raising water was also threatened,
Yeah.
and UNRWA had to put the other
Yeah.
gabions that, yes.
And our observations were very clear. Most of the citizens, some of the citizens had occupied lake shores. Sand mining was all over Lake Victoria. Even today as we speak, in our neighborhood here, there is sand mining.
But
We don't
every
know who is
time,
doing it.
Mushabe, I think even you, Luburwa, we have several times gone with the enforcement teams from police when they are going to arrest these people. Who releases them? Are they taken to courts of law
The law releases them.
and encourages them to go back? Which law is that?
There are even situations when you alert the police about people who are degrading environment, and before the police gets to where they are, some of the insiders alert the criminals to disappear. So
Are you saying there are some elements in the police that...
Definitely.
Should we blame this on police? Anyway, this conversation will now take us for a quick commercial break. I earlier said we are into the Media Lab studios here in Waitababi Entebbe, trying to discuss a number of issues, and just like I earlier introduced on my immediate right, Gracious Mugabe, who is a social activist, also Lawrence Mushabe at the extreme left, who is a writer with the Next Media, and then the CEO for Entebbe Post, senior writer Henry Lubula. But the conversation is still quite long, but we'll take a very quick commercial break, and when we return, we will tell you why, how, and the way the mayor's gardens have been let to rent or have been given to someone who has paid 324 million shillings to use it for 10 years. We want to paint, or we want to point our discussion to that debate and see, is that beneficial to the community in Entebbe. We'll return right after this break.
Entebbe, the land of freshness, fresh breeze, fresh water, fresh weather, and fresh foods. Entebbe is not just the gateway to Uganda, but also fresh foods supplied from 81 Sese Islands in Lake Victoria. Fresh foods from the garden to Chitoro Market and straight to your home. Visit Chitoro Market in Entebbe, Uganda's first capital for all your fresh foods.
Okay, we'll be back from that commercial break. Before we came back to Henry, you were telling us who's digging sand. When we were notified we were back on air, you have Mugabe. This man was almost telling us who's digging the sand. But anyway, before the break, I promised that we would return with a conversation around the mayor gardens that have been rent out to, is it Jackie's Secret Company Uganda Limited, for 10 years. And these developers have paid, or are yet to pay, I am yet to get a clarification, a tune of 324 million shillings for 10 years. We want to point our direction, our discussion there. Do you think this is a good idea for the people of Entebbe having, I want to call them a developer? Should I call them investors or developer? Which is the best word? They should be investors. And I'm told they're going to have restaurants, resting places where you can go and feel it. This place, according to my own thinking, had become a hub of thugs. Who has been there to see how toilets were looking? I am told phone snatchers used to hide around that place, snatch phones from the road and run inside there. This place was not protected for one day. Mushabe, we went there and someone brought a dead dog and threw inside there. It was I don't want to say renting it out is good or bad, but for the record we have for Entebbe, also it can be used. This is a conduit of theft for government property that we have also seen. Someone comes as an investor, before you realize they're chasing on a land title. That's how we have lost some of the things in Entebbe. But let me quickly pick your mind, Henry. Do you think this is a good thing for Entebbe?
Ivan, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say what I feel and what I think. And I want to tell you what I think is that it is, to me, it is complex. First and foremost, you need to look at the broader picture, like you said, of the land use in Entebbe. We've been having very many plots of land in Entebbe, very prime, that could have been used for a greater use, a greater good. And we also know that the mayor's gardens, not only in Entebbe, have always been there in Nairobi, in Kampala, in Masaka, in Barara, and everywhere. We also know that the mayor's gardens in Masaka were used to construct a very good trade building.
Okay. I am sorry. Mayor, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I am sorry to have grabbed you offside, but really I've been trying to get up to you. But I'm still in the studio just with my fellow journalists trying to discuss a number of things here and there, and we felt maybe we needed to get some comment from you on something.
Yes, what's my brother?
We were asking about the rent of the mayor gardens. We have renting out the mayor gardens by the municipal council. We're just seeking, information of what really is going to be there for the good of the people in Entebbe. At least maybe you have some idea.
What we've been trying to do, just like we did with Leisure Park, is to outsource it so that it is kept, it is beautified, then people can put, say for example, some kiosks for restaurants, better washrooms, better gardens, so that it can be used, say, for pictures. Basically, it should be a place that somebody can utilize. Right now, in the state in which it is almost, let's say, not usable. So that is it. The other thing we are thought of doing was put a rest truck.
Okay.
There, a running truck. Basically, someone who wants to jog, instead of jogging on the road, you can do laps around inside the garden.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Purely, it is it's going to be tendered. So what we allow people is the tenderer will come and just like we've done with the leisure park, and that's what we're planning to do with the children's park, so that these things actually make revenue.
Okay.
Okay. That one, it will help the municipality, but two, they are going to be maintained and taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe before we let you go, for another case, someone was saying we have had cases where someone comes as a developer, but at the end of it all, they tend to grab the land. How safer is that?
Not possible, because it's like Leisure Park has been it has been rented all this while, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's clear what you do is you stick to the documentation, and the documentation is rent, not a lease, not a lease, not a sale. It is purely rent. So the person comes in and is very sure that he's renting. It is he pays monthly. So it is in no way, or there is no room for anyone to take up the property.
Okay, my colleagues, maybe you have any question for Mayor before we let him go? After clarification.
I have one or two.
Okay, okay.
The first question, Mayor, my name is Henry. My name is Henry Lubulwa.
Hi, Henry, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Nice to hear from you. Now, I wanted to ask one or two questions. One, is it going to be free again for the people to use the mayor's gardens? And secondly, if it is going to be free, will it still have the same reasons and the intent of the mayor's gardens as it were, or the reasons of the mayor's gardens, as the reason as to why it is always instituted in a city world over?
Yes, but you remember that these parks are supposed to have, sitting places where people can read, people can take walks and all that. Now, the problem, the rental part comes in where this person can have, just like you have leisure park, no one stops you to access it, do they?
No, they don't.
Yes, so it is somewhere that what we're saying is we're allowing a person to put kiosks or whatever that can help them generate some income and share with us. So it is basically the municipality generating revenue, but we are working with developers because we do not have the money to put those things or those infrastructure on our own. So we're saying let's work with developers to generate income for the municipality.
Okay, Mayor, we grabbed you maybe in your busy time, but we really want to thank you for the time to give us that comment.
No problem, my brother.
Okay. I think you have heard the mayor put his argument. I don't want to say it is bad or good. What's your take on the mayor's?
One, I think if what he has said is good, that is in case he's honest this time around.
Why do you say this time around?
We have had a lot of very good agreements for a very long time.
With the same mayor?
Yeah. I could actually highlight some, but
can we state it on record?
If what he has said is, if he's very honest, what he has said, because some of us have not yet had an opportunity to take a look at the agreement that was signed. But if what he has said is what the agreement entails, I want to believe that it's a very good project. One, as Entebbe Municipal Council.
Why are you doubting in your submission? You seem to be doubting.
Of course.
How are you observing Mugabe's submission? Mugabe seems to be doubting somewhere, somehow.
I want to believe, I have not seen the agreements again, but I want to believe that whether the intent is right or wrong, the mayor's gardens has been mismanaged for a long period of time. However, it shouldn't be the mayor's gardens to house all this. Where is the Muzenga Park? We rented out the children's park, I believe.
It's in the hands of State House.
We rented out the leisure park. How effective are they in helping society to be better? How much money do they bring into the municipal council? We've also seen people taking over places such as those. We've seen Basajja Baraba in Kampala taking over places such as that, like the city of Abattoir, and they turn out to be his as a person. So, in a society that has been seeing a lot of dishonesty, not only from just the leaders, but also from the people, the different duty bearers who are supposed to hold trust public property, taking it out to certain individuals, we need to be skeptical on whatever is being taken on. However, we need to also understand where is the land that would have been allocated to such an investor, because Entebbe had a lot of land, and that land is no longer seen anywhere. Recently, we had incidences where they wanted to take over a piece of land just in front of Victoria Mall. Is it something they could take?
Is it Shell or Total?
Yeah, you know about the road between Shell and Total. The issues around the road being closed just to favor an investor come and take over a piece of land. Now all these things do happen, and these questions need to be asked now, because after the investor takes over that piece of land, it would be very difficult to take him off, because even after 10 years, renting it again would be at the sitting tenant is good priority. If he takes it first, if he still has chance to take it over, he will again take it over and still do the same work. So we need to do enough due diligence to ensure that what is being taken away from Entebbe can and will still remain in the hands of the oversight agencies within the
Bishop, what's
the
your take in
municipal
3
authorities.
seconds? We are running out of time.
Speaking matters development, I think the people of Entebbe need, should I call it testimonies. If there are some places in Entebbe that earlier on had been rented out to what we term as developers, do we have fruits from it? In terms of development, in terms of revenue collection, and in terms of developing the people, the commoners or the developers who have come in, and also the beneficiaries who gain from it. So we want to believe, if it is true, the agreement is there. Let's not have the stories of Econ City. Let's not have stories of because there is also that.
So I have managed to get Honorable Kakembo on phone. Honorable, sorry we have got you offside, but I am in the studio with my colleagues. We just really want to seek your opinion and comment on the alleged rent out of the Mayor Gardens. I don't know if you have an idea, Honorable. The renting out of the Botanical Garden, I mean the Mayor Gardens.
Mayor's Garden.
Yes.
Allocation from where?
We have information that this place has been rent out to a company called Jack's Secret Company Uganda Limited, and the rent is for 10 years, and they have paid the municipal council 324 million shillings.
Sure. Have you looked at the terms and conditions of the agreement?
We have talked to the mayor, who is telling us, yes, of course, they need somebody to develop that place, put better recreational facilities, create sanitation around, but also putting it in consideration that environmental protection is key.
Well, we appreciate the environmental protection, but what I will appreciate most is the public interest, because that Mayor's Garden was put there to, for the public. People have been gathering in Mayor's Garden to do, their weddings. So many activities has been going on in Mayor's Garden. That's why I was asking you have to look at the terms and the condition and see whether our people still access. Will they have a chance to access their Mayor's Garden, or it is closed off for the private investor? I don't understand yet. I haven't looked at the terms.
The mayor has put it to context. Yes, of course, that it is not bad intention, just like you have seen the leisure park in Kitoro.
Yeah, if it's not bad intention, our people we should understand. As the leaders, what we need to do is to protect the interest of our people, okay? Changing the functional, why are they changing it? If they are changing it for the good of all of us, because that's what leaders are for. Leaders sit down, plan what is good for your people, provided it does not, cost them. That's why I was asking, if I had a chance to look at the terms and the condition, and my argument would be, I want to see my people still access the Mayor's Garden, to go there and sleep in a beautiful and clean environment. So these people who have hired it, have they hired it for purpose of advertisement, to do business outside on the perimeter wall? Will it add value? Will it add the beauty of the Mayor's Garden for the people of visiting Entebbe municipality and the people of Entebbe municipality who are going to enjoy the services in the Mayor's Garden? I need to look at the ingredients of the agreement and see what exactly was embedded into the agreement, and that's my interest.
The gentleman in the studio, does anyone have any question for the Honorable Kakembo?
First and foremost, greetings, Honorable Kakembo. My name is Henry Luburwa. First of all, I thought as a leader he was the first person to get the agreement. If he hasn't, now we need to get back to the drawing board and ask him these questions. Now, what are these people, the society he represents, what because he's also asking us questions which we should be asking. What are the aspirations of the people of Entebbe in accordance with the mayor's guidance?
Yeah, but he, Honorable, I don't know if you have got Henry's question.
No,
but I think
the question, but I must tell him this. We are operating under an abnormal situation, under normal circumstances. As stakeholders, I am one of them who would have been consulted, would have been involved in such kind of transactions. But it was not done. You don't blame me, you blame the leaders who took up the transaction without involving all of us. Maybe they thought I am not important. Now I am facing you, asking me questions. I'm like, now what's going on? Under normal circumstances, I would be expecting the mayor, the town clerk, to consult. Not only me as Kakembo. In Entebbe, we have a senior citizen. We have the religious leaders, we have cultural leaders, we have senior opinion leaders in Entebbe. If they are not given a chance to be consulted, it is you have to blame the leaders, not to blame me. Because the custodian of the information here is the town clerk, together with the mayor. If there's any kind of such a transaction, it will be prudent for the mayor to consult a colleague. Honorable Member of Parliament, where are you? The RDC, where are you? The Chairman Division A, Division B, and the councillors, and the senior citizen of Entebbe. Those are the people who should be consulted. It is a shame if they find us on the street fighting. But if they have not done it, probably they will learn as we move on. They will learn on the job. But I would advise them next time when they're doing such kind of things, to avoid embarrassment. Let them consult us. We're not here to fight development. We are here to ask a few questions and, of course, protecting the interests of our people. Because that's my interest. That's the reason when you ask me, I told you, have you looked at the terms and the conditions?
Okay. So in the event, Honorable, that the agreement does not represent the people, what are you going to do?
Honorable, are you in any way maybe going to make efforts to see that you also...
I am going to follow it up. Now that you have asked that question, I'm going to call the town clerk, I'm going to call the mayor. They should vanish me with the information, because if they didn't do that, probably it was a mistake, or they forgot me. Maybe they think I'm not a stakeholder in Entebbe. You'd ask them, they can answer that.
Okay. Honorable, thank you also for putting that context into our discussion. We really want to thank you. We got you offside, but thank you for your time.
I understand. Thank you so much.
From the Honorable submission, do you realize there are gaps, maybe?
Yeah, communication gaps.
Let me tell you, the mere fact that we only seeing the agreement at the advanced stages means there are a lot of there are gaps, because society needs to be good.
Can that justify that even some councillors of that division may not be in the know of what is happening?
And then what interests of the people are they going to protect?
and to make matters worse, I remember even the saga of Chituburu Forest Reserve. Honorable Michael Kakembo was the same person who appeared on ground, and he wasn't aware of the ghost developer who was coming in. And for the case of my good mayor, actually we didn't hear him give any comment on that. So there could be gaps.
Me personally, I gave my opinion and my view. I said that place had become a hub of thugs, because at night, even when you pass there, the people you see in there, some are smoking, others I don't know where they are checking in viveras. So it was becoming an insecurity for Entebbe.
Because it is true, Ivan, and also in another way around, the challenge that we've severally had in Entebbe, it is one. People jump, I don't want to call it jump, but there is a way they take the information in another way around, thinking maybe it is wrong. We have had a series of complaints from people. Recently we had the issue of Chituburu and several cases in Entebbe. People have the narrative that these developers come to take off.
When you're talking about Chituburu, you remind me of the land that stole itself.
So what we only have to have as per now is to ensure that if true the developer is coming in, let's have the clear way of creating awareness, telling people how impactful it is going to be to the society, to the developers, and the common people on ground.
For as long as...
let's get your final take. We're running out of time on that matter.
Yeah, for people like me who have been in Entebbe Mayor's Garden for a very long time has been a safe haven for snakes, they would slash it only when there is a head of state or a VIP coming to Uganda. It was a bush. Literally, it means Entebbe Municipal Council had failed on one of its mandates. It is a very good idea if they are renting it to a private developer who will maybe regreen it, remodify it, and maybe beautify the place. The good thing I heard the mayor saying, and I hope it
Who
will
are
be
these
true.
people? Do you know them? Have they operated anywhere around where we have seen success and fruits?
That's where I was heading.
Don't we have people in Entebbe? If okay, I don't want to assume I know whether they're foreigners or natives of the land. But the question, have they worked anywhere where we've seen fruits?
Absolutely.
Didn't we have any other, if they're foreigners, didn't we have anybody from Entebbe that still could do the same job? What were the modalities of selection in the bidding? And the anticipation we have that he or she is going to do a good job is really also another thing to think about.
Yeah, from my research, the Jack's Secret Company Uganda Limited has, I think, a branch in Kayunga.
It is Jack's. They're doing things in secret. Jack's Secrets Company.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a name.
Okay.
But they have a branch in Kayunga, and of course there are obvious benefits that the public has to expect. For example, revenue to the Entebbe Municipal Council, employing the people, and as a person, I am so much focused on the credibility, the competence of the Jack's Secret
What
Company
do they
Uganda
do?
Limited.
What do they do?
I heard, according to what I heard the mayor explaining, they intended to invest, I think, in...
He talked about containers, what being put in there?
containers, foods, recreation, I think. They are into
Now,
the
is
recreation business.
Is this is he an investor or a developer? Going to solely develop the place, improve it, or he's also going to sub-rent other people to use that place?
I think he's going to invest, manage, beautify, and regreen the place in accordance or in respect with the ecosystem, in protection of the environment.
Okay, I want to give each one of you 12 seconds to say your last words. We have run out of time. And let me start with you, Mushabe. What are your parting shots?
But of course, I want to say what we have nowadays is to make sure that we develop and have, things move on. We've seen investors coming in, and they are greatly contributing to the country's GDP. If it is true, Mayor's Garden is going to be developed, we welcome it. But how impactful?
Nowadays, everyone is giving only one reason for anything you ask: IFRIS. Even if you go to IFRIS,
because also
it's only a time I've not seen traders protest, but everywhere I went, have you seen anywhere?
For your case, by the way, they are there. I've been given from the reliable sources that across Entebbe Road, there's some businesses, actually big businesses, that have closed off due to these taxes.
It's just IFRIS.
But also, let's pray the municipal council also gets some taxes.
Doesn't bring IFRIS.
But I want to say thank you so much for hosting us, and to my good people of Bukanga, I pray we reach the time as we are all safe. God bless you.
Henry, this man is already in Bukanga. Hope you don't go to Kalangala as well. But I'm giving you 12 seconds to say your parting shots.
Yeah, Kalangala exported me to the world, and I'm here. And so
suffering with IFRIS.
Actually, I'm also suffering with it. But then I want to request one thing from the people of Entebbe and the country at large. Hold your leaders accountable. Even when it's Joe Senyonyi, even when it's Mpuga, even when it's Chagulanyi, even when it's Museveni, even when it's Besije, even when it's Rulinda, even when it's someone called Kayanja, even when it's Kakembo, you hold them accountable, because they must account for the money they take.
Okay, Mugabe, 12 seconds, your parting shots.
Yeah, since everyone is bragging about their places of origin, I should also inform the world that Kochi escorted me
to the world.
To the world.
Suffering with Ifris.
Thanks a lot for hosting me. I greatly appreciate the audience for according us their precious time for God and my country.
Well, the three gentlemen just giving their parting shots in as far as how we have held this debate, discussion that we think is important for the people of Entebbe. For those who have been watching us online, Media Lab, Entebbe Post, Kumba Times and the rest, we really want to thank you, but also invite you that Entebbe is a very precious place. We have a lot of beaches. We have a lot of many happening places where you can come with your family and stay for a weekend. So if it's a Saturday like this, please bring your family to Entebbe. We'll give you fresh fish from Lake Victoria, but also move around the zoo. Mr. Musinguzi told me this, that this weekend is going to be a special one. He's inviting, including you people, to go and see the new developments at UWEC, the new systems that have been put in place, the new, and actually they're still introducing more products of animals that people should go and really see. You should be there. I don't know if you've been there of late, but Dr. James Musinguzi, we are really so happy for that. But the rest of other places, go to the beaches. You yourselves, guys, take your stress to the beach. The Ifris stress, take it to the beach. You'll come back when you're okay. But for time reasons, our audience, let me put the conversation to an end. See you next Saturday, same time. Good morning. Imagine if leadership and development was a uniting factor for people towards a certain achievement. When people set aside their political differences and affront a cause that will benefit everyone.
What does Omuntu Wawansi see as development in it?
We have the only international airport in this area.
There is no way we can underlook issues of health.
Buza meya achegana. Tauni kiraka achegana.
Who is the problem now?
That
is politics.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. as we discuss matters in Entebbe, the first Uganda's colonial capital, and what it deserves.